Hey, y'all. Welcome to Candid Conversations with Carla. Well, today, we're going to actually talk about contentment, the state of being content. We don't really hear that in this day and time because it's always about acquiring the next big thing and the next new job and that spouse and that child, right? It's so important to be content because being in a state of not being satisfied on a consistent basis can really wear you down. And why do we need the next big thing? Like, why? Really ask. I think that's a good question. Like, why do I need the next thing? Why can't I rest in where I currently am? And I'm not talking about you shouldn't aim for more like ever. But what I'm saying is that sometimes we are so caught up into acquiring the next thing that we can't even see what God has blessed us with currently and totally being satisfied where we currently are, right? You know, when we acquire that thing that we thought we just had to have and we see that it doesn't satisfy us, we realize that there are some voids there. If you constantly have to have something else and you can't be thankful or you can't rest in what your current state or your current situation is, there's something missing. If you ever look at the celebrities and you see, I mean, we see it all the time. How many times do we see that they get this or that and they've got the biggest and the most expensive things, and then we hear that they are on drugs or they are dealing with mental illnesses, right? It's because they found out that the next big thing didn't satisfy them. Why are we so in a rush to go to the next thing? Even like if we were actually going through something, right? There's something that's to be obtained in that thing, especially some type of test or some type of a trial. You know, if you're still going through it, it's because God want us to get something out of it. So instead of saying, you know, oh God, when is this going to be over? We should be asking, God, what do you want me to get out of this? It's just something to think about. Why do I want what I want? I have found that in the state of me wanting to get out of something is because I'm panicking or I don't trust, right? I don't trust God, or I don't I don't trust, it's out of my control, right? But there's just something about acceptance, accepting where you are, accepting who you are, and accepting that life sometimes life just happens. It just happens. And it's okay that everything is not perfect. It's okay if I don't have everything that I want. And that's another thing. We get so caught up in the things that we want, not even being thankful for the things that we actually have, that we're not actually in need. And if we are in need, that those needs are actually being provided. You know, we're in America, right? Um, and I personally just think that we are really spoiled. You know, um, we have Black Friday, and I mean, we literally have Thanksgiving, and then the stores are already opening. Instead of enjoying family, we're ready to go shopping for the next thing, pushing people over for the next thing. And a lot of times we obtain these things and we don't even give any thought to it once we have them. You know, we can develop addictive behaviors, whether it's shopping, whether it's eating, whether it's the next car or drinking. Those addictive behaviors are because of voids in our lives. But contentment is so important. You know, if you haven't obtained that spouse yet, work on you. That means that there's not some that there's something left in you that's undone. Fulfill your passions, your purpose until God brings you that spouse. It's so important because you know what the reality is that are we really ready for that next thing, such as that spouse, right? Because that spouse is not going to solve anything that's currently going on with you. You have to be able to be self sufficient. If you can't date you, if you can't, and I'm not saying, listen, I'm not saying we can't have moments of, feeling like you want companionship, right? No, but if you have a problem with being by yourself, then that's a problem. Because having someone will only complicate what you currently have. And so if you aren't content being alone, you won't be content with someone because things only magnify. It's time to be in a place of not just contentment, but gratitude, thankfulness. You know, it's hard to complain when you're thankful. Ask me how I know. You know, I was someone who always had to go shopping, who always, I love food, but self discipline and just being content with what I have is so important. I shed the burden of having to get the next thing because I'm okay. I understand that these things don't define us, y'all. They don't. And who are we doing it for anyway? Why do we need the next thing anyway? I'm grateful. And so, with that said, we're just having little candid conversations. And it's just, I just want to give something to think about. All right. So, I will see you guys next week and just ponder that. Okay. All right.